She said he disappeared, said he walked out the front door, and never came back. But the truth? He never left that house alive. This is the story of Gannon Stauch and the woman who was supposed to protect him, Letitia Stauch. January 2020, Colorado. An 11-year-old boy vanishes. His father, Al Stauch, was away for military training. The house had only 2 people in it, Gannon and his stepmother, Letitia. At first, everything seems ordinary. His stepmother says he went to a friend's house. Simple, believable. But there was a problem. Nothing in her story stayed the same. Every time she explained, the story changed. Timeline shifted. Details moved. Reality took a new shape every time. Once she claimed a stranger had attacked them. Another time, she called it an accident. Nothing lined up. And then, something far darker surfaced. A recording. Letitia had recorded Gannon while he was already hurt. A child's voice. Weak, confused, frightened. He keeps asking, "What did I do wrong?" And instead of helping him, she made him feel like it was his fault. That was the moment everything changed. Because Gannon wasn't missing. He was trapped inside a story that was being rewritten in real time. As the days passed, Letitia's behavior grew stranger. Instead of searching for the boy, she gave interviews. She cried in front of cameras. She performed grief. But behind the scenes, she had a plan. Just days after Gannon was reported missing, Letitia took her 17-year-old daughter, rented a van, and left Colorado. Through Texas, through Louisiana. Her daughter had no idea. She thought they were starting over somewhere new. Then came the moment that changed everything. March 2020. Bridge inspectors in Florida found a suitcase. Inside was Gannon. Not in Colorado, in Florida. Moved. Hidden. Discarded. And at the same time, investigators found something else. In Letitia's search history, one phrase stood out. "I hate my stepson." This was not a moment of madness. This was a plan. Control had been in her hands from the very beginning. You didn't come this far to stop here. Subscribe and go deeper with Obscura Mind. 2 days after Gannon was found, Letitia Stauch was arrested. In Myrtle Beach, South Carolina. She didn't look panicked. She didn't look broken. She looked composed. And that told investigators everything they needed to know. The trial began in 2023. 59 witnesses took the stand. Evidence filled the courtroom for weeks. But Letitia had one last move. She claimed insanity. Said she had multiple personalities. Said she didn't know what she was doing that day. Said she experienced a complete psychological break. Her defense brought in a psychiatrist who described her actions as the result of severe childhood trauma. During a recorded interview played in court, Letitia spoke in a different accent, called herself Maria, said, "It wasn't supposed to happen this way. It wasn't supposed to be him." The courtroom went silent. But then, her own daughter took the stand. Harley Hunt, 17 years old when it happened, now sitting in a courtroom, testifying against her own mother. She told the jury about the van, the hotels, the route, the dog she had to sneak past the front desk. And then she said something that silenced the entire room. "I defended her for years. I'm still in shock. I just feel manipulated." The jury deliberated for nearly 8 hours and came back with one answer: guilty, on all counts. The judge looked at Letitia Stauch and said this was the most disturbing case he had ever seen in his career. She was sentenced to 2 life terms, no possibility of parole. It seemed like the end, but in April 2026, a court of appeals reviewed the case and overturn the conviction. Not because she was innocent, but because of a single procedural error in how the jury was selected. Which means Letitia Stout may walk back into a courtroom, and Gannon's family must live through it all over again. Justice is still unfinished. This is not just a criminal case. This is a story about the manipulation of reality. Letitia didn't just lie. She rewrote what was true. What psychology calls gaslighting, when someone distorts reality until others begin to doubt their own perception. She tried the same thing in court. Claimed she had multiple personalities. Said she didn't know what she was doing. But prosecutors proved otherwise. She booked hotel rooms for one person to save money. She planned the route. She made calculated decisions every step of the way. This is the nature of pathological deception. They don't want to convince you. They want to confuse you. And when this behavior repeats, without guilt, without remorse, it reflects patterns seen in narcissistic personality disorder and antisocial personality disorder. An obsessive need for control. A complete absence of empathy. A distorted relationship with truth. But here is the most unsettling part. She didn't look like a monster. She looked ordinary. She spoke calmly. She cried at the right moments. She knew exactly how to play the role. And that is what made her dangerous. Because danger doesn't always wear the face of violence. Sometimes it wears the face of someone completely believable. And Gannon? Gannon trusted her. And that is the simplest and darkest truth of this story. He placed his trust in someone who had already written his ending. And maybe the real message is this. The most dangerous people are not the ones who appear broken. They are the ones who can seem completely normal, while everything inside them has long since gone dark. What do you think allows darkness to consume a person entirely? Why do people abandon a life filled with love and fill themselves with hatred and bitterness instead? What if every soul on this earth remembered the power they carry and the purpose they came here for? We all carry both light and darkness within us. The darkness doesn't take over in a single moment. It grows slowly, in silence, fed by every choice we ignore, every boundary we cross and call it nothing. What defines us is not the darkness we feel. It's the choice we make every single day. Because at the end, the most dangerous thing a person can do is stop choosing who they want to be. Reality is never the full story. Obscura.